guys? Jets. What is going on, Jet fans? And welcome back to another episode of the Jets Board. I am your host, Ryan Ward, and I'm so excited to be back with you. I have a fun one for you guys in this video. But first, if you have been here before, welcome back. You know I love having you guys here in the Jets Board. And you make this so much fun for me to do, making videos for you that you're enjoying. It makes me so happy. And if you are new here, welcome. Whether you're a Jets fan, a fan of another team, or just a casual NFL fan, you are always welcome in the Jets Board. I love hearing from my fans of other teams. I've heard from Colts fans, Texans fans, Packer fans, Bills fans. It's great hearing from all of you guys. I love it. And I love hearing what you guys have to say about your teams, if you're confident, if there's things you're worried about, and different things going on. But guys, training camp has started. Rookies have been reporting, and more players, vets are supposed to be coming up this week to training camp as the days go on, and it's really, really exciting to see. As a Jets fan, I'm happy I don't have to worry about anything going into this offseason. All the deals that we needed to do are done. All the rookies are signed. It's great. Other teams do have to deal with some stuff, and I hope they get those done. Praying for the Bengals. I hope they get their first round pick, Shamar Stewart, signed. I hope they fix that situation. But anyway, like I said, I have a fun one for you guys in this video. As we know, every season we always go on to talk about players that need to perform. They need to step up. They need to do what they can to make sure that they have a job in the next season, to make sure that they can still show that they have elite skills or enough talent to perform in this league, to show that they belong. In this video, I'm going to go over 10 players that I think are under the most pressure to succeed this year. And I'm going to warn you now, a lot of them are quarterbacks. A lot of quarterbacks need to prove that they are who we think they are. And some need to prove that they can get over the hump and get to a championship or get to the playoffs, things like that. But I think I'm going to start off with a common one, a quarterback that we all know needs to perform. And that guy is Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, coming out of college, was looked at as a quarterback that there was no capability of him busting. He had all the traits, had a cannon of an arm, was athletic in the pocket, had a very high IQ as well. And when the Jacksonville took him, they were excited. They had a quarterback, and they struggled at first. Urban Meyer wasn't the best head coach for him. He sort of struggled a little bit. But then they got Doug Peterson, who helped him come along and looked like a really good quarterback, which earned him a big contract. And since then, it's kind of gone downhill, and he's on his third coach. He's on his third coach now, and Cohen from Tampa Bay. I think Trevor Lawrence still has all the talent in the world, but he dealt with a lot of injuries last year. And when he did play, there were a lot of mistakes that he made that as an elite quarterback you can't make. He has the talent. He's still young. He has the ability. He needs to be able to stay healthy. I think Jacksonville is trying to build an offense around him. They got Brian Thomas Jr. over there, who is a star in the making at receiver. They just got a new guy from Colorado who can play receiver and cornerback. For some reason, his name, I'm blanking on, Travis Hunter. They just got Travis Hunter, who they're going to try playing wide receiver and cornerback. But they have weapons there. Travis Etienne is still there. They got a couple of running backs that are solid. They have weapons. But Trevor Lawrence is the guy that needs to get them over this hump and get them back in the playoffs where their defense can take charge. They don't have a bad defense, especially their defensive line and their linebacking core. They're pretty good. But Trevor Lawrence is the one who has the most pressure on him. He needs to show that he is what we think he is, an elite quarterback in this league who has all the characteristics to win. Can he do it? I don't know. But there were rumors about him possibly getting traded this offseason, which was crazy to think about. But he has he has so much upside still. Can he come back fully healthy? And if he does, what can he do? He needs to have a really good season to be able to improve confidence in Jaguars fans who might be losing it at this point. But right now, Trevor Lawrence to me is one of the most guys under the most pressure this year. It's crazy that he could be on the hot seat as a quarterback, in my opinion. Going on to the next one. And again, I told you there were going to be a lot of quarterbacks on here. I have Bryce Young. He's another one who's since being drafted. He was the first quarterback taken in a draft that had C.J. Stroud in it coming behind him. he has struggled a lot. And last year, thankfully, he looked like he was starting to grow, get a little better. After getting benched in the beginning of the season, he looked like he was getting better and making the throws. Almost took down the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly during the regular season. And he showed flashes of solid quarterback play, a very good quarterback play. He's in a division with Baker Mayfield and Tyler Shuck as the Saints starting quarterback and Michael Penix as the starting quarterback for the Falcons. He needs to take that next big step to show that he can ball out in this league. He showed flashes last year. He's not the biggest guy. He doesn't have the strongest arm, but he's got good mobility in the pocket. He's got solid receivers, and he just needs to take that next step. But again, there's a lot of pressure on him. He was a number 1 pick. He needs to show progression. He needs to show that he can take these next steps and build off of what happened next year. But right now, I think there's tons of pressure on this young man to perform, and I think he's going to have a good year. I really do. I like Bryce Young. I think he's got all the characteristics to win. He's a good kid too. He's not a bad person. He does a lot off the field. He's just overall, I'm really rooting for Bryce Young to do well in this league, and I hope he can. So I'm hoping that he can bounce back this year and not let that pressure eat him up in Carolina. Going on to my number 3. I got Caleb Williams, another quarterback. There is so much pressure on this young man to perform. Again, another number 1 pick. The Bears have started solidifying that offensive line. That kid was under so much pressure last year. That offensive line was bad for Chicago. And they traded Justin Fields, who, let's be honest, the Bears never looked at Justin Fields as their future. Matt Nagy didn't want him. Matt Nagy didn't want him as their quarterback. And it showed. Then they traded him to Pittsburgh, and he did pretty well over there, going 4-2 to being benched for another team that, let's face it, didn't really want him either. But Caleb Williams was this heir apparent. He was another quarterback coming out of the draft who no signs of being a bust. He's very athletic for his size, really good maneuverability in the pocket for his size, and a great arm. Now, he struggled last year, and he had great receivers. He had Cole Kmet as a tight end. He had Roma Dunze, who they drafted, who I think they're going to build up a better relationship this year. They had DJ Moore, who, let's be honest, is still a really good receiver in this league. Is he elite? I don't think so anymore, but I think a very, very good receiver in this league. And they had Keenan Allen, who is older, but still showed flashes of being a solid receiver. Now, they drafted Luther Burden to get a younger receiver in there as a slot option. Keenan Allen's not there anymore. They drafted Colston Loveland as well. And they started building this interior offensive line where he was getting the most pressure by trade for getting a lot of these guys. Joe Thuney, one of the biggest and best acquisitions they made at left guard. Now they're surrounding him with all of these things. The pressure is on. He's got a new head coach in Ben Johnson. Can Ben Johnson turn this kid into a star? The guy's got the capability to do it, but there is so much pressure on this kid on a team where the fans, let's face it, Bears fans can be rough on their players. It's not easy because if they don't like you, if you're not doing what they drafted you for or playing up to the ability that they think you should be playing, they'll boo you out of the stadium. And Caleb Williams felt some of that last year. And it doesn't help that this offseason too, there were a lot of issues where it came out that he would have done anything not to go to Chicago. So there's a lot of issues there. Luckily, he ended up getting drafted. He wanted to go there after a couple of issues. But there's a lot of pressure on this young man going into year number 2 for him. Can he take that step forward? After seeing what Jaden Daniels did last year as a rookie, that's what Caleb Williams was expected to do. Now, can he do it? The Bears are providing him with everything they need. So they have got a lot of offensive weapons for him. They still have DeAndre Swift, who's a solid running back for them. Can he take that step forward? It's all on him this year. It's a lot of pressure for him to succeed, and he needs to prove that he can be their quarterback of the future. But it's a lot of pressure on this poor kid. Going into the next one, we get into our first non-quarterback, Kyle Pitts. Falcons already came out and said that they are not extending him. So he will be a free agent after this season. Kyle Pitts has so much potential. You guys have heard me rave about this kid, thinking that he just needs a change of scenery to succeed. He's got so much potential. He's got so much breakaway ability. He's got solid hands. He's got great speed as a tight end. He's not the best blocker, but he's a matchup nightmare. And he should be terrorizing this league. He should be in the talk about like where we have Laporta, where we have Brock Bowers, where we have Kelsey, where we have Kittle. One of the elite tight ends. But it just never materialized for him. And I don't know if it's an on-the-field issue, just not knowing the plays, if he's getting inside his own head, off the field stuff going on. But he's got all of the potential in the world. And the team's coming out and saying that they're thinking he's going to have a breakout year, but they're not saying they're not going to extend him. He's got so much pressure. He's got to prove that he can ball out in this league. Because that Falcons team, they got a young quarterback in Michael Penix. And his best friend, in my opinion, for a young quarterback is a tight end. Just toss it over the middle. And this kid is a matchup nightmare. Still young. Still can be explosive in this league. He needs to prove that he can be that guy. But he's got so much pressure on him. Does the team still believe in him? Does he believe in himself? He's got to. If he wants to succeed, he's got to trust in the talent that he's got. Because he's got a freaking ton of it, man. He's got so much talent. He's got to be better, and he's got to prove to teams, even if he becomes a free agent, he's got to prove to teams that I can be your future tight end. I can be your tight end for years to come. I can be your number one guy because I still think he can. I loved Kyle Pitts and think he's got so much potential. I really do, and I think he can be really good, but he's got to prove it, and he's got so much pressure under him this year. Going into number 5, I got Tua Tagovailoa. A lot of pressure under this guy, too. His head coach is on the hot seat as well. They need to prove that they can win. Because when Tua's on the field, they have a pretty functional offense. They got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. They got good players. Tua is a solid quarterback when healthy. The problem is he's never healthy. He's always hurt. And as the season goes on, he becomes predictable. He's not the strongest arm quarterback. He is a timing player. He needs to have the perfect timing to succeed in this league. And in the early part of the season, it's all go. He is so good. It's tough to beat them, especially when you're in Miami. But the injuries build up. Does the team still support you? Do they still rally around you? Is the offense predictable? Can you change things up? Tua has so much pressure on him because he's supposed to be their franchise guy. He's gotten to the playoffs before, but they've always won and done. He needs to show that he can take them to the promised land and win some playoff games. Because I think he's got the talent. It's just when things get tough, when the Dolphins start playing good teams, they falter. They can beat up on the little guys all they want. It doesn't mean anything when you can't beat the competition, when you can't have some upsets. They need to be able to prove that. And I think their window is closing. Tyreek Hill, you don't know how much left he has in his career. Tua, one injury away, and he might be done. You don't know. They just drafted Quinn Ewers, too. Are they seeing him as a possible future quarterback for them? I think there's so much pressure under this young man. He needs to thrive. He needs to succeed this year for the Dolphins to be anything. Because that defense, they're not bad, but I think their cornerbacks are a very big question mark for them right now. There's a lot of things that are issues with the Dolphins. Their offensive line is still questionable too. Tua needs to perform to the best of his abilities. They need to put him in a situation to succeed because if they don't, who knows? His name might be coming up in trade rumors as well because he has been there he's been there for a while now, and the Dolphins have not seemed to get better at all. They have not. They've been making they made the playoff a couple times, but they're always one and out. And one and done. So Tua needs to step up and be that franchise quarterback that Dolphins fans think he can be. Continuing on to number 6, we get to Shedeur Sanders. I feel like there's a lot of pressure under this kid. And the reason why is because of his dad, primetime. He's coming out of college from Colorado, where he broke all the records. He was somebody who was looked at as being a first-round quarterback, fell to the 5th round. Wasn't even the first quarterback drafted by the Browns. If you go and look on their schedule, on their depth chart, he's not even on it right now. The ESPN depth charts, he's not even on it. It goes Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, or it goes actually, Sean Watson's still technically on their depth chart as the number one quarterback, but we all know he's injured. Then it goes Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and then Dylan Gabriel. Shador has so much pressure on him, in my opinion, because of that Sanders name. He's got to be able to prove that he can be an elite player. And I think he's got so much pressure right off the jump because if he fails, that's going to be bad, especially in Cleveland where they're desperate for quarterbacks. They're desperate. And he's looked like the best one so far. And I feel like he's put this pressure on himself, too, by being, who knows, that people said he was overly cocky going into the workouts and everything for the NFL Combine. And who knows, maybe he was. Maybe he didn't do as well in the interviews as we thought he could have. But he's got all this ability. He was looked at as being the second or third best quarterback in this draft. That's a lot of pressure. And then to be dropped all the way to the fifth, he's got pressure to make people believe in him again, to give people hope that, damn it, he should have been a first-round quarterback. That teams who whiffed on him, who passed on him, he's got pressure to prove them wrong, in my opinion. And from the family he comes to as well, at the quarterback position, all the eyes are on you, man. I like Shador. I think he can be a very, very good quarterback in this league. And honestly, when he started falling in the draft, I was tempted to have the Jets. I was thinking about the Jets taking him in the 4th or 5th round. Because who knows? If Justin Fields doesn't succeed, Shador could have been the answer maybe. I don't know. But Shador has so much pressure on him, and it's only his rookie season. He has so much pressure to be put on him. If he wins that starting job, all eyes on him. Is he the second best quarterback or the best quarterback in this draft? Or is he a 5th-round prospect? What do we think of him? All eyes are going to be on him, and I think there's so much pressure on this young man for him to succeed in his league, just like how his dad was successful in this league. And that sucks because he's his own person. But I still think having that family, coming from that type of family where your father was a Hall of Fame player, everybody's going to expect you to do the same. And I think that's not fair, but I think the expectations are there for the kid. And I hope he does well. I hope he proves the doubters wrong. I really want him to succeed and do something in this league. I really do. Because I think he's a good young man and I think he deserves to be successful. From all the workout videos and everything that I've seen on X and on ESPN of this guy just working out, doing everything he can. First guy in, last guy out. He's doing things the right way. But there's still so much pressure on him to succeed right out of the jump. Going into number 7, I got Aaron Rodgers. Another quarterback. Aaron Rodgers has so much pressure. This might be his last season. The Steelers have gone all in on this guy. They got him a great number 1 receiver in DK Metcalf. They got Calvin Austin Jr. as wide receiver 2. They might be able to get another receiver. They might be looking for another receiver. They got Jonnu Smith, who was one of the best tight ends last year. They got Pat Freiermuth, who could be a great number 2 tight end, who I think is a solid number 1 option in this league. So they got 2 great tight ends. They got a great number 1 receiver. They got Jalen Ramsey, who they traded for with Miami, who is not getting any younger. They got Darius Slay. They got Joey Porter Jr. They just re-signed TJ Watt. This team is all in. They got Mike Tomlin, who's still an elite coach in this league. Aaron Rodgers has all this pressure on him. He failed with the Jets. I know the expectations when Aaron Rodgers got there. The hope we put in him to bring us a Super Bowl. Pittsburgh's going through that now. They have all of this stuff invested in him. Steelers fans are tired of being knocked out in the first round of the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers was brought in to win them a Super Bowl. And NFL analysts still think he's one of the top quarterbacks in this league. To me, he's got all the pressure on him. You're going to an elite team. You're going to a coach that will not take your BS. It's not your team. It's going to be pressure on him to be able to follow what Coach Tomlin does and be able to lock in and elevate this team to contender status. They got the defense for it. Their offense, I think their offensive line's a little shaky. The receivers, I love DK Metcalf. We don't know what Calvin Austin is. We don't know what Rome Wilson is. They have some pieces. Aaron Rodgers is the person who's brought in to elevate that team and bring them to a Super Bowl. And he's been talking like this might be his last season. It's a lot of pressure I think he's putting on himself too to go out with a bang. But Pittsburgh fans, they're hungry, man. They are hungry. And you think Jets fans are crazy? Because we are. I know I am. And we expected a lot out of you. Steelers fans do not know losing. Under their coaches, under the last 3 coaches, they have not had a losing season. All right? If Aaron Rodgers goes in and flops and wins 5 games like he did with the Jets last year, Steeler fans will eat him alive. They'll eat him alive. And it won't just be him. He'll retire, He'll retire and just be gone in the wind. Mike Tomlin, I feel like, has the most pressure on him right now, too. And I could have put him on this list, even though he's not a player. Mike Tomlin is on the hot seat, if people like to think that or not. Because now you're going all in. And if you fail going all in with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, you're probably going to be finding a new spot. There are teams that are going to take you in a heartbeat as head coach. But right now, this combo of Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin, definitely under the most pressure. Some of the most pressure this season. Because you got a Hall of Fame coach, and I'll say it, Mike Tomlin is a Hall of Fame Super Bowl winning coach. You got Aaron Rodgers, Hall of Fame quarterback. Can you win a championship? You have the pieces. Now, it's the pressure to prove it. And I think that's going to be really, really tough for Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin. Let's see what they can do. But I think the pressure is on in Pittsburgh for them. Continuing on, getting into number 8, I got Chris Godwin. There's a lot of pressure under this guy. Coming back from serious injury, Buccaneers fans love this kid. He is a solid receiver when he's healthy, but he hasn't been able to be healthy. And now you drafted Emeka Egbuka out of Ohio State, who's looking like a stud. You still got Mike Evans, who's a stud. And you got these young players, Jalen McMillan there as well, who looks like he can be very, very good. You have Cade Otton, who might be coming into his own as well as a tight end. You have Bucky Irving, who's a fantastic running back. The pressure is on you. Can you be that final piece? Can you come back healthy and be the receiver that the Bucs fans hope you are? Because you've proved that you can be elite in this league. You can be very, very good and a great compliment to Mike Evans. Pressure's on you to be able to come back and do it. I think Godwin's under a lot of pressure this year to prove that he can still be a fantastic receiver in this league. A high-end number 2, maybe a low-end number 1 receiver, because if he comes back and is solid, he can do it. But coming back from that injury, it's a lot of pressure on him to be able to come back and succeed. Going into the next ones, number 9, and as a Jet fan, I know this one, Justin Fields. And you'll hear it. Like, you can go back and watch my videos of when the Jets signed Justin Fields, when free agency, who I wanted them to target. You know my feelings about Justin Fields. I think this is the perfect situation for him. And I love that Justin Fields is our quarterback, and I'm one of the biggest Justin Fields fans. And I think this kid has all the freaking talent in the world. He's gotten better every season that he's been in the league. He went from a Bears team, like I said earlier, did not believe in him, traded to Pittsburgh, went 4-2, and got benched for Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson did not do much better than him. Justin Fields is 26 years old with the amazing running ability. And his cannon of an arm. And his arm is not as bad as people say. He's not that inaccurate. He's proven he can be deadly accurate in this league. He's got an offensive line that's going to protect him now. He's got a tight end weapon in Mason Taylor that I think is going to be very good. He's got a college wide receiver in Garrett Wilson. He's got weapons. Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, all of these players. He's got weapons. He's got an offense and a coaching staff that believes in him, that is making an offense dedicated to him. And if it flops, this is his last chance. This is his, and it kills me to say that, this is his last chance to prove that he can be a franchise quarterback in this league. Because if he fails in New York, in this situation that we put him in, let's say the Jets go 6 wins this year and Justin Fields looks awful, guess what the Jets are doing in the draft next year? They're taking a quarterback. And Justin Fields might be on the outs. He might be the backup. But if he balls out this year, and brings the Jets to a 9-win season and potential playoff spot, 8-win, 9-win season and potential playoff spot, and shows growth and shows that he can be, that his accuracy has gotten better and that his running ability is still elite, he'll get a monster contract from the Jets. Just look what they did to Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner, players that have been here who have proven that they are great players, great teammates. Justin Fields, who is the epitome of the perfect teammate, the no I in team guy. If anything goes wrong, he puts it on himself. Leader, the epitome of a leader. If it goes wrong, though, Justin Fields will be known as a backup quarterback in this league. He'll get picked up again, but as a backup. But if it goes right, he could be the long-term answer for the New York Jets. And that's what I'm hoping it is. Because I still think this kid's got so much freaking talent. And I think he can be elite in this league. And that's bold take. I think he can be a top 10, top 15 quarterback in this league. With the ability to throw and run, the league's moving in a dual threat type of way, guys. And Justin Fields is elite at it. And I think his arm is only getting better. His accuracy is getting better. He's proven it each year. But that's no taking away all of the pressure that this kid's got on him. He's got immense pressure. Being in that New York market with the fans who are hungry for playoff potential, who are hungry to get back in the playoffs, who are hungry for an elite quarterback or just a franchise quarterback. That's a lot. But I think he's the guy who can do it. I think he's the guy who can turn this franchise around. And I'm hoping that. I'm praying that, honestly. I really want him to succeed because he's such a freaking good guy. If you've seen the videos on X about the fans in Chicago or the young kids in Pittsburgh calling him up or going to one of the players and having them call him and just saying thank you, he gives back to the team, to the community. He loves the community, and the kids love him, and the fans love him. And I just really want this kid to succeed because he's a good dude. He really is. And he seems like a fantastic leader on the team, too. So I'm really hoping that Tanner Engstrand and AG can put him in a situation to succeed. I really, really am praying that he is the franchise quarterback going forward. I really want him to succeed. But going into my last guy, and I'm going to stick with the Jets, I'm going Breece Hall. Breece Hall is under so much pressure because he's been hurt a lot of the time he's been here. He's shown flashes of being an elite running back. Last year, he's not broken a 1,000-yard rushing season at all in his career. Last year was supposed to be the year that he could do it. Aaron Rodgers is here. We have all this excitement, all these players here. The team's loaded, Super Bowl. Breece Hall, there was a lot of drops from him last year. He was injured last year. He was replaced by Braylon Allen a lot last year. He showed frustrations with the offense, with the coaches. New system, new start. Breece Hall's got to show that he can be that running back that we all love, that he can be that elite running back. I love Breece Hall. I still think he's a top 5 running back in this league. He's got to prove it because you got young Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis and even maybe a Donovan Edwards who he signed as an undrafted rookie who are right down your neck, breathing down your neck for that starting spot. And we even said, AG came out and said, and Tanner Engstrand came out and said, we're going to run a running back by committee. If he can't prove that he's the best one out of them, I wouldn't be shocked he gets traded. I wouldn't be shocked he gets a contract at the end of the season. I wouldn't be shocked if they don't franchise him. He's got to prove that he's an elite running back. He's got to prove that he can stay durable, stay healthy, and be elite for the New York Jets. And I think he can. I love the new system that they're putting him in. But Breece Hall, just like Justin Fields, is under a ton of pressure in this league, in this season, going into it. But guys, that's my list. That is the players that I think are under the most pressure this year. If you think I missed anybody, please let me know. I love talking about these guys. I love coming up with the ideas and solutions of why they're under the most pressure. And it's my opinion. If you disagree with it, that's okay. It's okay to disagree with people. It really is. I would love to hear your opinions. I would love to hear if you agree. I'd love to hear if you disagree. Is there any players you think I missed? Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel as well. Hit that bell for any updates. And again, guys, thank you so much for joining me in the Jets Ward. Thank you, guys. I'll see you in the next one.